Hey folks, Les here from 6S1, and this is just a quick video to give you some ideas on kind of the intended usage of the figure placement utility poses included with the forward Gunnery Installation scene kit. So let's jump on into this. Here we have a scene already set up, and this is loaded out of the scenes folder that's included with the kit. So you can just load this pre-built scene and just jump right ahead to having the scene in your having all the elements in your scene in DAZ Studio with some nice render settings, and even in a custom-made HDR dome that looks really great in this scene. So we've loaded our scene, and we have two G3 males loaded. With one of them, I think, is set up as Ivan. The other one is Lee. These are some popular character kits for that figure. And here you can see we have dark void clothing on both of them. I've got from the seminars I've been doing for at CG Bytes, we have the dark void explorer units, Sarge loadout, all tossed on big old Leo here. And then from the first phase of the Dark Void series, we have let's see, what was this? We've made so much stuff with this, it's actually hard for me sometimes to keep track. ZX01, the ZX01 clothing on our Lee figure here. So what I'm going to show you now is how to use these figure placement utility poses. It's really kind of crazy simple, but this is a relatively involved little environment. It's a tight space, but it's got a lot of cool stuff you could do in it. So if we zoom out, you can see here, it's just this nice tight little set, kind of inspired by some of the bunkers and outdoor type scenes that I like from different movies. And sci-fi sources. I'm a big fan of all kinds of stuff like that. So, there's stylistic elements of all kinds of stuff like that in here. And so what I've done is one of the things that I hear from people a lot when they talk about scenes like this is they have trouble getting figures into place for interesting shots to take full advantage of the scene. So I've included 26 placement utility poses, and these will work on the G3 male or female, or I haven't tested them with anything other than those two because those are the intended usage, but based on how they're made, they would probably work with a lot of other figures as well, because they only affect the most base level transforms of the figure. Like if we were to select Lee right here, these poses are only going to affect the translate and rotates in this general area of the figure. And if I'm not mistaken, every original figure, original or otherwise, in DAZ Studio will have this stuff in general. So these should place anything in all these placements, any figure in these placements. So let's say we wanted to place him over here by the doors. Okay, let's just look through here and find some of the placements for doorway. Let's go to doorway facing out. Okay, and then I'm just going to frame him right here. Oh, actually, I don't want to frame him with that. I want to frame him with my perspective camera. There we go. So there we see we've placed him looking out from the doorway. And then you can see a couple of these others. Now, of course, he's T-posed here, and you might be wondering, well, is this placement going to overwrite my poses? Can I apply poses once he's there? And the way that this works, let's apply just a pose that's a commercially available pose that's been made for him. Now this pose has all of that general data reset, but that's okay because with our utilities, we can just pop him right back into place. So it doesn't overwrite any of the pose. It just puts him in position for some really nice dramatic shots in our scene. So if I wanted to bring our other character in close proximity to him, I'll just go find him, maybe find him in my scene tab, or I could go in here and find him. And there we go. And then once he's there, I will use a translate tool, okay, and just drag him out a little bit. These poses are really, they're designed to be, they're called utilities for a reason. They're not final poses. They're placements to help you get your characters in place. Once they're in place from using one of these poses, though, you use a translate or a rotate to just kind of tweak them out the rest of the way wherever you want them. So there we have, just within a couple of clicks and a couple of quick drags from our utility pose, we have two characters ready for prime time with some rendering. So let's just do a little bit with the camera there. Get kind of an interesting shot set up of this. Let's move on in here a little, and I'm gonna spawn a camera from this angle, and we are almost ready to get a render of that. So I just want to set up a couple little things, my depth of field, and make sure I've got an f-stop that's going to work really well for that. And so that will be a piece of artwork that you'll see rendered and posted, and probably on the product page for this kit. So that's just a quick sample of one way, or the way, excuse me, of how these poses are intended to be used. These are, like I said, these are utilities. So let's just grab Leo again. And if I were to, let's say that I wanted to bring him up into this main walkway area here. We have, let's see, let's find it here. Ramp, doorway, in the crater, front walkway going. So that'll bring him forward. And that'll put him right here where we want him to be. And then we could rotate him around a little bit. Or if we wanted him coming, like he's walking toward the other guy here, we could just use the other one and it's going to rotate him that way. So, like I said, these are not final poses. They're utilities to put your characters in place in positions that are logical and useful throughout this particular scene. So I hope that that makes sense. You would apply, like if you wanted to do some posing, you could do your posing first. You could also put them in place and then pose them from there. But a lot of commercially available pose packs apparently have the translations and rotations for the main figure node included, and so they'll reset the figure. So a lot of times you're going to want to apply any existing poses you want to use, and then use these utilities to put the figure into place. So anyway, I hope you dig that. I hope you find that useful, and that you'll have some fun using the forward gunnery installation. So thanks, and till next time, I'm Les, and we're 6S1. Thanks.